Hi, I'm Tirsa Macy Blanco. Today, I will be going to discuss the topic entitled From Pidgin to Creole. But before that, I will be going to present the three questions. So as we go through of learning the topic, the first question, what is Pidginization? The second question, what is a Creolization? And the third question, how do Pidgin become Creole? To know more about Pidgin and Creole, so let's differentiate. So when we say Pidgin, it is a lingua franca which has no native speaker, and it is used as a means of communication between people that do not have a language in common. While Creole, native speaker exists, and Creoles are languages which originally been pidgins and have become established as a mother tongue in some speech communities. So Pidgin is more on mixing of language, so which means that words often from dominant language, while Creole mixed language associated with cultural. So it is formed language that developed from a combination of multiple languages and cultures. So Pidgin, it reduced grammar and vocabulary, which means it is built on rudimentary grammar and has limited vocabulary, while Creole have fully developed vocabulary and grammar, which means or therefore it has to have a grammar of complex and a much larger vocabulary than a Pidgin. So Pidgin, so the users learn it orally as a second language. And Creole, so it has or have parents who use Pidgin. So this typically happens when children begin to favor the Pidgin dialect over the parent language, and it has a writing system. What is a Pidginization? So the Pidgin comes about from the need to communicate, particularly when those who need to communicate speak a variety of languages, and the speakers of the target language are superior. Thus, Pidginization seems to have happened, and seems still to happen, repeatedly, for it is one of the basic means by which linguistic contact is made among speakers of different languages. When we say Pidginization, so it is a complex combination of different processes of change, including reduction and simplification of input materials, eternal innovation, and regularization of structure, with L1 influence also playing role. In Pidginization, Pidgin languages represent speech forms which do not have native speakers. They are used by people who do not share the same language. In Pidginization process, in some cases, Pidginization may lead to a Pidgin. Example, in the absence of native speakers of the original language, the Pidginized forms become important as a lingua franca and acquire stability with widely shared norms of usage. What is Creolization? So a Creole is a Pidgin that has become the first language of a new generation of speakers. So when we say Creolization, so it is a process where a Pidgin expanded in structure and vocabulary in order to express the range of meanings and serve the range of function required of a first language. Through Creolization, in urban centers, the children of mixed couples learn Tuk-Pisin as their first language. Thus, Tuk-Pisin is changing from an extended Pidgin to a Creole language. In the Creolization process, Creolization occurs when the expansion is non-contact induced. The outcome is a Creole. So a Creole is a pidgin which has acquired native speakers and has undergone non-contact induced expansion, where the expansion process repairs the results of the reduction process which occurred during pidginization. How do pidgin become a Creole? So first, within a community, increasing numbers of people begin to use pidgin as their principal means of communication. Then, their children hear it more than any other language, and gradually, it takes on the status of a mother tongue for them. Within a generation or two, native language use become consolidated and widespread. So the result is a Creole or Creolized language. An English-based Creole can develop a number of varieties when it is in contact with Standard English. As the range of these varieties increases, Standard English may more and more influence them. So, the varieties will come to resemble Standard English. So, this process has become known as decreolization. So when we say decreolization, so it is a hypothetical phenomenon whereby over time a Creole language reconverges with one of the standard languages from which it originally derived the theory of Creole continua. In discussing the Creole continuum that exists in Guyanese English, Bickerton of year 1975 has proposed a number of terms that may be used to refer to its different parts. The first one is acrolec, so which refers to educated Guyanese English, which has a very few differences from other varieties of standard language. The second one, basilic, so it refers to a variety would be least comprehensible to a speaker of the standard. The next one, mesolex. So it is a intermediate varieties which are used to fill the space between the acrylic and basilic. To sum it up, pidgin is a process to produce a standard language, which is a Creole. So pidgins occurred when there is no standard language initiated between two or more different language. Or it might be said pidgin is a lingua franca among them. Creole is a language produced from pidgin and it has a native speakers which are occurred not from the induced speakers contact, but it is more inherited through generation. That's the end of my report. Thank you for listening and have a good day.